My laboratory hummed, a fortress of cold precision within the mountain's heart. The sleek, minimalist surface of polished obsidian and brushed alloy reflected the intricate dance of light from the holographic projections that danced across the room. I had moved beyond mere concealment. My initial key experiments, the laborious attempts to create cloaking fields and defensive shields, had yielded a rudimentary mastery. Now, I sought to project, to touch the vast living tapestry of the planar world, not with a physical hand, but with the subtle, insidious force of my will. My objective was the refinement of the subtle, subliminal tones that had once commanded the subconscious of the mainland. They were no longer mere auditory frequencies. Nadine, in her terrifying efficiency, had successfully translated their principles into direct key modulations. These were not blasts of raw energy, but precise, almost imperceptible ripples designed to interact directly with the planar world's omnipresent key, its very consciousness. I began my tests, my gaze, sharp as a honed laser, fixed upon the holographic map of the planar world. I selected only the most remote, utterly inhabited regions, utterly uninhabited regions. Vast, uninhabited deserts where crystalline dunes shifted with the wind, or frozen tundras where ancient key formations pulsed beneath layers of ice. These were sterile testing grounds where my early disruptions would cause no physical harm, merely a subtle, energetic distortion. My fingers, moving with the unerring precision that now defined my demigod-like existence, adjusted the parameters. A complex sequence of key frequencies, interwoven with a barely detectable disharmonic vibration, pulsed from my central console. Outward, it flowed, carried on Nadine's directed key beams. A silent wave across thousands of miles. My sensors, adapted to perceive the subtle nuances of planetary key, confirmed the effect. A minor, localized disruption in the ambient key flow, like a single thread pulled taut in a vast, intricate weave. It was not destructive, but it was an imperfection, a flaw in the harmony, a ripple. The true scale of my ambition resonated with me. Within me, I was attempting to chip away at a cosmic edifice to introduce discord in a reality defined by profound balance. The sheer magnitude of Arden's harmony, this pervasive, boundless key that flowed through every atom of the planar world, was a constant, overwhelming presence. It pressed against the shields of my minds, a benevolent insistence on conformity, the constant underlying hum of harmony, so soothing to others. This was for me, a perpetual psychological battle. Every moment I exerted a colossal effort to maintain my individuality, to prevent the universal key from dissolving my precise intellect into the collective. My sanity was a razor's edge. I walked it with a grim determination. To achieve my goals, I had to be precise enough to avoid immediate, overwhelming retaliation, yet disruptive enough to achieve my ultimate aims. This was the core of the psychological tension, the delicate balance between calculated risk and cosmic consequence. I did not falter. The knowledge of Arden's silent observation, his profound eternal gaze, fueled my resolve. He would watch me unravel his perfect world. Far beyond my mountain redoubt, in the tranquil heart of the planar world, the Syndicate of Weavers sensed these faint disturbances. They were not individuals in the terrestrial sense, but a collective, an ancient network of beings deeply integrated with the planet's key. Their sensory apparatus was the planetary key itself, a vast organic mechanism that continuously monitored the ebb and flow of harmony. From their serene, crystalline citadels, half phased into the key weave, their collective consciousness registered the aberrations. It was a subtle discord, a fleeting tremor in the planetary song. Their initial interpretations, however, were dismissive. They attributed the anomalies to natural planar phenomena, perhaps the subtle grinding of ancient ley lines, echoes of past geological shifts, or lingering, fading resonance from the great unveiling, as the last vestiges of the illusionary veil fully dissolved. There were not yet prepared to conceive of a singular, intelligent, malevolent force actively orchestrating such disharmony. Their purpose was to mend, to reharmonize, not to fight. They sent out passive probes, soft tendrils of their collective key awareness, gently attempting to smooth out the ripples, to reintegrate the silent deviations back into the pervasive harmony. But I sensed them, my enhanced key perception, a direct result of my relentless mental discipline and Nadine's refined sensor arrays, detected these subtle attempts at reharmonization. It was like feeling a gentle current in a vast ocean, a non-aggressive yet undeniable response to my presence. I understood then. I was being sensed, but not yet identified. My approach was working. I was getting under Arden's skin, forcing a reaction, however subtle, without fully exposing myself to the full, overwhelming force of his response. My precision was validated. I was hitting the right notes of discord, orchestrating the early movements of a symphony of chaos. Emboldened by their passive response, I expanded my test parameters. My holographic map showed me the intricate network of planetary key currents, like invisible rivers flowing beneath the surface. I experimented with subtly affecting localized weather patterns in remote, uninhabited zones, causing fleeting, unnatural shifts, a sudden, localized drop in temperature, or a strange, shimmering aurora where none should be. I even directed discordant frequencies at isolated pockets where native key beings existed in pure energetic forms, not to harm them, but to observe. I witnessed them briefly manifest unusual behavioral patterns, their harmonious energy forms rippling with confusion or mild unease before settling back into their natural states. Each experiment yielded precious data, affirming my own growing mastery. My thoughts, ever precise, constantly returned to Arden. I envisioned him, a vast, passive intelligence, the ultimate filter of all key. These early disruptions were not merely tests of my power, they were psychological jabs, probes, designed to test the tensile strength of his pervasive will. Each disruption was a calculated insolence, a challenge to his effortless dominion. My ultimate goal remained paramount, not merely to cause chaos, but to force Arden's hand, to draw him out, to shatter the serene indifference of his eternal gaze into a confrontation I would define. As the test phase concluded, a subtle, almost imperceptible tension settled over the planar world. It was like a vast, serene body beginning to notice an irritant, a low-frequency hum that defied easy categorization. My redoubt remained hidden, a black jewel in the heart of the mountain, shielded by its national key-cloaking fields. But the game had advanced. I approved of my capacity to disrupt, subtly but effectively. Now, I would observe, plan, and prepare for the next, more significant strike. The grim satisfaction of a plan unfolding, precise as clockwork, was a cold comfort in the profound solitude of my new